Welcome back to Wiseman Company, everybody. Ben Brown here. Today we're going to look at something that's very new to me, kind of an experiment for me. I'm going to be trying out, or I have tried out recently, a compensator on a handgun. And of course we see comps on rifles all the time, but why would anybody want to put a compensator on a pistol? It's 9mm. Like, do you really need a compensator on a handgun? I mean, that seems like for people that have like weak wrists or you're Canadian. It's only 9mm, it should be easy enough to do. I would tend to agree with you on that. So that's kind of why I wanted to try it, see what all the hubbub was about. You see a lot of people running comps on handguns these days. This kind of came from the competition world, the shooting sports world, but now you see people carrying them or putting them on their everyday carry handguns. This one I picked out, I bought myself. This one is from Griffin Armament. This is their little micro comp. It's 3 ports. It just goes on any 1/2x28 thread pitch. I have it on my Polymer 80 here. You guys have seen this on the channel quite frequently. This thing's still kicking, still around. Love this handgun. So long story short, you do feel recoil mitigation by putting this little comp on there. There are bigger comps out there with larger ports, and I'm sure they do a better job, but just even having this little tiny Griffin Armament comp on here, I can definitely tell a difference. It definitely works. Let's get into some of the specs of this little comp and the reasons why I kind of picked it out to try out. Number one is the profile. It's very, very small. It doesn't need timed. It has 3 ports on it. You just crank it down on there. It has some flats, so you can use a wrench to tighten it down, and you're good to go. With that profile being so small, I can still run the holster I have. This is from Squared Away Customs. It just pokes out the bottom a little bit. When this thing does get heated up, you can burn your pecker a little bit if you stick it right in the holster after running a mag or two, but nothing really big to worry about there. It's just a little toasty on the chestnuts, if you know what I mean. It basically just covers the thread like the thread protector would, and then maybe sticks out another 1/4 of an inch. So the small profile really attracted me. Like I said, there's a lot of bigger comps out there on the market, and it adds a lot of extra length, maybe unneeded length. This acts just more like a thread protector with some ports on it. One big complaint people throw out there about comps on handguns is that you're gonna blind yourself. I've run plenty of ported barrels and compensators in the past, not for a long period of time, and I've run them in low light conditions, seen them in low light conditions, and the whole idea that you're gonna experience temporary blindness because of the flash of the muzzle is just not true. I'll roll in some B-roll here of me shooting in the dark. You can see the flash, but I'm running a dot on top, and honestly, while you're shooting, you don't even notice, really. So I'd have to just take that concern, set it aside. I don't think it's valid. You're not going to experience temporary blindness by running a compensator, or a ported barrel for that matter. My other concern while running a compensator was, am I going to run into more malfunctions? Is it going to mess up the mechanics of the gun? Is it not going to operate appropriately? And I didn't run into any malfunctions. I did have one bad round, but that was definitely ammo related. You might see that in the B-roll here. But the gun still cycled fine. Brass got out of the gun as it should, and really nothing to report. And that was honestly my main concern above all things. Is this going to change the operation of the handgun? And for me, it didn't. It ran flawlessly, and everything did what it was supposed to do. So operationally, good to go there. I can't say that's going to be the case for, you know, every handgun out there on the market, because you don't know what people are doing to them, different recoil springs, tweaking this, tweaking that, taking mass out of the slide, etc. But for me, I mean, this is a pretty basic setup. Running this Griffin Armament comp, everything ran as it should. So as I said in the beginning, you could definitely feel a lighter recoil impulse while running this compensator, this micro comp. It wasn't significant, but you could definitely feel it. And I ran 115 grain 9mm through it, and I also ran some subsonic, which was really, really soft actually. 147 grain from Keystone Munitions. And again, it ran really, really flat, almost to the point where I think I was, because I'm so used to not running a compensator, that I was pressing down with my support hand really hard, as I should, when I'm firing a regular handgun, and I was almost making the gun dip too low, it seemed like, when I didn't need to do that. I was putting more effort into it just because I was used to that. The compensator did its job. I'm curious now if bigger comps with larger ports are going to increase that ability to keep the muzzle flat. I don't know, that's something to test out. I would imagine that would be the case, but I think for the start of my compensator experience on a handgun, this was a good start. It really didn't take anything away from carrying this gun on the daily because of its small size. Price point for these bad boys is 65 bucks. I had a threaded barrel anyway. It just made sense. And honestly, I got this on Black Friday. I think I saved 30% on it over at Griffin Armament. And again, I think this is a good start, a good trial run for a compensator. Maybe I'll get into some ported barrel stuff here soon. I think if you're curious about running a comp, this would be a good start. Check out Griffin Armament. This is their micro compensator. It's 3 ports. Doesn't need timed. If you have a 1/2x28 barrel, you can throw it on there. They do have 13x1 left hand for some of the other European twists out there or thread pitches out there. So you can get one for that. Also, if you have a Glock 43, they have a Glock 43 specific micro comp. Guys, let me know down in the comments what you think. Are these overrated? Is it just a gimmick? I want to talk with you guys as always. My name's Ben Brown. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing. Go check us out at wisemancompany.com. A lot of great gear over there. I'll see you on the next video.